Today we will study about hydrogen. Yesterday I covered redox reactions, what is oxidation, reduction, oxidizing agent, reducing agent, and how to balance what redox reactions by ion electron method and oxidation number method. But now we will study about hydrogen. So hydrogen, it is in the form of atom, molecule, and it is atom, electronic configuration, and atomic number is 1, atomic configuration 1s1. Therefore, it is placed in the group 1. In the periodic table, it is placed in group 1. So, group 1 elements: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Atom number 3, 1s2, 2s1, 3s1, 4s1, 5s1, 6s1, 7s1. Therefore, n-s1 configuration, and for this 1s1, therefore n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, therefore ns1. So because of ns1 configuration, yes, hydrogen is placed in group number 1 in the periodic table. And even hydrogen can be placed in group number 17. Group 17 elements F, Cl, Br, I. 9, it can gain 1 electron. It will become F minus 1. Means even hydrogen can gain electron to form hydride. Hydrogen lose electron to form hydrogen ion. Sodium lose electron to form sodium ion. This is a monovalent ion. This is also monovalent ion. Here H minus 1, F minus 1. So because of the properties, hydrogen can gain electron to form what hydride ion, and halogens also gain electron to form halide ions. And these can form what halogen can form, or they have what atomicity 2. They are diatomic, and hydrogen also diatomic. That's why placed in group number 17. But mainly it is placed under group number 1. Next, see what are the isotopes of hydrogen, and then we will study about water and H2O2. Hydrogen isotopes H11, H12, H13. Electron, proton, neutron. Electron, proton, neutron. Hydrogen means protium, deuterium, tritium. Protium, deuterium, tritium. Then in these three, common is what electron number or proton number. But in first one, neutron 0, and second deuterium, neutron 1, and tritium, neutron 2. And most unstable tritium, because it is a radioisotope of hydrogen, and most stable protium, right? In most of the compounds, protium or hydrogen is what observed. Then, see how to prepare hydrogen. Preparation of hydrogen. So in a test tube in the laboratory, yes, we can prepare hydrogen by adding zinc dust and H2SO4 dilute, or alkali metals, sodium, potassium, rubidium, etc. So when zinc dipped in sulfuric acid, or iron metal Fe dipped in sulfuric acid, then they liberate hydrogen gas plus ZnSO4. ZnSO4 plus H2. This is a laboratory method. But application of hydrogen is very vast. So we can use in various fields hydrogen gas. Take example, hydrogenation of oils, that is a conversion of oil into fat. There is a manufacture of dalda. Yes, one can use what hydrogen gas. when hydrogen gas is passed through edible oils, then they are reduced to what? Fat. But catalyst used in that industry is nickel catalyst. It is called hydrogenation of oils. Then in fuel cells, oxygen, hydrogen fuel cell, and there hydrogen plays important role that can release a large amount of energy, and it's about calorific value also very high. Therefore, even in welding the metal or cutting the metal, also we can use what? Oxyhydrogen flame. Next, to prepare ammonia, means manufacture of ammonia by Haber process. There we need hydrogen gas. Then to manufacture methanol, water gas plus hydrogen, it can give methanol. On large scale, we can prepare what? Various compounds. Or its application is very vast. Even in metallurgical process or metallurgy, yes, it can act as a reducing agent. Example, metal oxide like copper oxide plus hydrogen gas. It can convert into copper metal. Means it removes oxygen. Therefore, it is used as a reducing agent in metallurgical process. Like this, you can give any number of applications. Because of their application, yes, I have to explain about manufacture, means how to get hydrogen on the large scale. So, large scale we can prepare hydrogen by electrolysis phenomenon. So, in the second year, there is electrochemistry topic you studied about electrolysis. When electric current is passed through acidified water, that's water with dilute HCl or dilute sulfuric acid, and that H2O, HOH, HOH means hydrogen move towards negative plate, oxygen move towards positive plate. Hydrogen liberated at what? Negative plate called cathode, and positive plate anode, because at this electrode, the electron added here O2 minus or O minus 2 electron gives O2. Hence electron removed anode, electron added cathode. Therefore, yet anode O2 liberated and yet cathode what? Hydrogen liberated. Therefore, electrolysis of acidified water can produce hydrogen at cathode and oxygen at anode. And by using acidified water, we can manufacture hydrogen on large scale. H2 plus O2. This is one of the important methods to manufacture what? Hydrogen on large scale. Next, even from methane also we can manufacture. Methane plus steam, we can give what? Or you can that can give water gas. Then steam and coke or coal, they can give water gas, CO plus H2. And separation of CO and H2 by using again steam and Fe plus 3 as a catalyst at higher temperature, CO changed into CO2. And this is called a shift reaction. And CO plus H2 from coal or methane, this mixture is said to be syngas. Syngas means synthetic gas, because it is important gas used in industries as water gas to produce a large amount of heat. Then it is also used to manufacture methanol, and we can use to separate these two components, and we get pure hydrogen, and CO can be changed into CO2. There is called that syngas or a shift reaction. Next, so it's about preparation. Then properties of hydrogen. Hydrogen is a colorless, odorless gas and insoluble in water and highly combustible. And the density very, very low, means a lightest element. It is a lightest element. Next, hydrides. It can form hydride. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Then beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. These are radioactive elements. FCl, Bri, OS, say nitrogen, phosphorus, NH3, PS3, H2O, H2S, HF, HCl, hydrides, means hydrogen can form hydrides, and those hydrides may be ionic or saline hydrides, ionic or saline hydrides, then covalent or molecular hydrides, covalent or molecular hydrides, and NiH2 nickel hydride, NiH2 platinum hydride. These are called interstitial hydrides, or non-stoichiometric hydrides. So D block elements, they can form interstitial hydrides, P block elements molecular covalent hydrides, and S block elements, they can form ionic or saline hydrides. Then see the stability. Lithium hydride most stable, cesium hydride least stable. Therefore, stability order LiH greater than NaH greater than KH greater than RBH greater than CHH. Then reducing power. If it is less stable, H can be easily removed. Therefore, strongest reducing agent cesium hydride. Next, rubidium, potassium, sodium, and lithium hydrides. But magnesium hydride, they are even beryllium hydride, they can form covalent. Means they have more covalent character. Since the size is small, if size increases, ionic character increases. Okay. But when they react with water, yes, they can produce what hydrogen gas. As such, hydrides they can be used even to prepare hydrogen gas. Then in covalent hydride, covalent are molecular hydrides. Okay. Electron rich hydride, electron precise hydride, electron deficient hydride, electron rich, electron precise, electron deficient. Electron rich hydrides, they contain lone pair of electrons. Therefore, ammonia, water, they contain lone pair. This is called electron rich hydride. Electron precise hydride, methane, carbon comes under what? P block. There is a methane, but in this methane, no lone pair of electron. No lone pair of electron. Therefore, it is called electron precise hydride. And some methane, ethane, propane, butane, they are electron precise hydride. Electron deficient hydrides, B2H6. Boron hydride, it is electron deficient hydride. So like this we can study about hydrides. Next about water, H2O. So H2O has a bent structure with bond angle 104 degree 5 minute and having two lone pair of electrons, and is a covalent hydride. And water is said to be universal solvent. Most of the substances are soluble in water, therefore it is called a universal solvent. Then in water there are two types, soft water and hard water. That can be decided on the basis of soap water. So when you add a soap, if it gives lather, then it is called hard water. No lather, soft water, using soaps or even detergents. Then again, soft water do not contain chlorides or sulfates of calcium and magnesium. But hard water contain what? Sulfate, chloride, bicarbonate of calcium and magnesium, permanent hydride and temporary hydrides. Permanent hard water and temporary hard water. So in hard water, two types of hardness: permanent hardness and temporary hardness. Permanent hardness due to calcium sulfate, calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride. Permanent hardness of water. Temporary hardness: calcium bicarbonate, magnesium bicarbonate. But see how these are removed. These are removed by adding lime, calcium hydroxide, or even CaO plus water, lime. And that method is called Clark's process. Example: calcium bicarbonate plus calcium hydroxide. It can give calcium carbonate as a PPT. Magnesium bicarbonate plus calcium hydroxide gives magnesium hydroxide plus calcium carbonate. Like this, temporary hardness can be removed by using Clark's method. That is by using calcium hydroxide or CaO, quick lime. Then by even by boiling, direct by boiling the water, there is a temporary hardness can be removed. Therefore, MgHCO3 on boiling undergo hydrolysis to form magnesium hydroxide plus what? CO2. Magnesium hydroxide plus CO2 is formed. If it is calcium, calcium bicarbonate can give on boiling CaCO3 plus CO2. CaCO3 plus CO2 plus water. Means bicarbonates are changed into carbonate, calcium carbonate, magnesium hydroxide. They are all precipitates. They can be removed by water filtration. Next, permanent hardness can be removed. Permanent hardness can be removed by using Calighan method, and formula Na6E6O18 hexasodium metaphosphate. Sodium hexa metaphosphate. Sodium hexa metaphosphate is called Calighan. And by adding Calighan to this one, calcium sulfate or magnesium chloride, calcium chloride, calcium sulfate, but 2Na plus replaced by Ca plus 2 or Mg2 plus. Ca plus 2 or Mg2 plus. Like this, Calighan can remove what? Permanent hardness. Permanent hardness, calcium sulfate or sulfate chloride, calcium magnesium, that can be removed by Calighan. One method. And even by zeolites, there is a NaAlSiO4, sodium aluminum silicate, that is called zeolite. Na plus replaced by again calcium magnesium, right? That is called zeolite method. And even by ion exchange method also we can use ion exchange method, and even organic resin method. They can be used to remove what? Permanent hardness. Permanent hardness removed by what? Calighan method. Second, zeolite method. Third, that resin method. Then temporary hardness removed by what? Clark's process or by boiling. This is about water. So in gas phase, this is the structure, bent structure. If it is liquid water, it can form hydrogen bonds. So one water molecule is surrounded by actually 4 water molecules, because this is linked with So here one water molecule H2O linked with 1, 2, 3, 4, and one O linked with 4 bonds, 2 hydrogen bonded and 2 covalent bonded. So this is actual structure in case of what? Ice. Ice or in liquid form is structure of ice and structure of water in liquid form and ice form. But in liquid form, hydrogen bonds are less. Ice form, yes, it has a cage-like structure, right? Tetrahedral structures and cage-like structure. Then H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, structure of O. See the bond length in H2O2, H2O2. O dash O, bond length is higher. Then O dash H, means 2 types of bond lengths are observed. And see, because of what? 2 electronegative elements, same O and O, repulsive forces are more, hence the bond length is more. And H electropositive, O electronegative, then bond length is less. Force of attraction is more, then bond length is less. This is compared with the open book with an angle of 111 degree. Then H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, it can be used, H2O2 can be used in what? Clinic to clean the wounds, because it can kill the germs. Wounds are cleaned by using H2O2, and usually its percentage 30%, and 30% H2O2 also called as perhydrol or 100 volume H2O2. But about this I'll tell you in detail afterwards regarding volume strength. For commonly used hydrogen peroxide, there is a 30%, 20% by, or 20 volume, 100 volume, 35 volume. Different volumes are there that we study afterwards. But application of H2O2, that is even in dentistry to clean the teeth, one can use what? H2O2. And as a bleaching agent, in industries, as a bleaching agent, one can use H2O2. It is a colorless liquid and at room temperature it is less stable. Hence it is placed in cold conditions or in bottles, closed bottles. It can be prepared by using a paste of barium peroxide BaO2 plus dilute sulfuric acid in cold conditions. Then we get H2O2, means laboratory preparation of H2O2 by using barium peroxide. Then reactions of H2O2, H2O2 plus MnO4 minus H2O2 plus Mn plus 2. Mn plus 2. H2O2 gives H2O. Then H2O2 plus O gives H2O plus O2. So in this reaction, H2O2 gives H2O, means loss of electron occurs. Loss of O. If O is donated and that O converts Mn plus 7 to Mn plus 7 to Mn plus 2, reduction occur, then itself undergo what? It means itself Mn plus 7 to Mn plus 2 reduced, means it reduces Mn plus 7 to Mn plus 2 and itself undergo oxidation to form H2O. Therefore, H2O2 act as a reducing agent. It can reduce Mn plus 7 to Mn plus 2, and if it act as reducing agent, remember O2 is liberated at the right side. If it is reducing agent, if it is oxidizing agent, see here. PbS plus O gives PbSO4 plus H2O and balance it by writing 4. But anyway, H2O is formed and here O2 not formed. H2O2 in this reaction act as oxidizing agent. It oxidizes lead sulfide to lead sulfate. Lead sulfide to lead sulfate. Oxidizes, I told. It oxidizes. Therefore, it itself undergo what? Reduction. Reduction is removal of O. If removal of O occur, reduction, and addition of O occur, oxidation. Therefore, in this reaction, oxidation occur, and in this reaction, reduction occur. Because if H2O2 gives O, means O is removed, reduction, O is added, oxidation. If oxidation occur, it acts as a reducing agent. In this reaction, reducing agent. Okay. Yesterday, I left one point in case of KMnO4. Potassium permanganate and I minus. MnO4 minus, I minus, plus H2O. Or even you can write Br minus. MnO4 minus, I minus, very important reaction. They can give even Br minus also. Permanganate ion change into MnO2 and IO3 minus. Neutral medium or alkaline medium. Neutral medium or alkaline medium. Permanganate ion react with iodide or bromide to give iodate or bromate, and MnO2, a black solid, MnO2 is formed. Next, here permanganate ion into colorless Mn+2, but here black, but here colorless. I minus into I2, which is a brown solution. Anyway, remember, in acidic medium, permanganate ion into Mn+2 and I minus become I2. Therefore, I minus get oxidized and Mn+7 get reduced. Therefore, it is a redox reaction. It is also a redox reaction, but conditions here, neutral medium or alkaline medium, answer IO3 minus. In acidic medium, H plus left. Alkaline medium or neutral medium, H2O left. Remember, H2O left in the reactions. Then, about volume strength. Or, before that, I will tell you about orthohydrogen and parahydrogen. Ortho and parahydrogens. So this is the hydrogen and the nucleus of hydrogen. If nuclear spin in hydrogen molecule, nuclear spin in the same direction, that is called orthohydrogen. If nuclear spin in opposite direction, that is called parahydrogen. And for orthohydrogen, nuclear spin equal to half plus half equal to 1. And in parahydrogen, half minus half equal to 0. Nuclear spin in parahydrogen equal to 0, nuclear spin in orthohydrogen equal to 0. But these are the allotropes of hydrogen. If it is allotrope, chemically same, but physically different. Here they differ by nuclear spin. At normal temperature, there is in hydrogen gas. If you take hydrogen gas, at normal temperature, 75% orthohydrogen and 25% parahydrogen. When you cool it up to 20 Kelvin, then percentage of parahydrogen goes on increasing and this one goes on decreasing. So this is about ortho parahydrogens. It is not there in the theory syllabus. Anyway, when some CET or NEET exam, they can ask about ortho and parahydrogens. Next, we can study about volume strength and after 2-3 minutes.